Welcome to Origin Stories. I'm RD.
I'm Parrot.
We're telling stories behind the digital art revolution
Each week we interview top artists.
and live stream with the community.
Let's go. Today is tomorrow's origin story.
Hello.
Parrot, what's up, man?
What's up? Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. And we are on the road. This is an unusual one.
Yep, both of us.
Where do you find yourself?
I am in Oregon on the coast right now. It's a nice view of the ocean.
Man, that is a good view.
It's been nice. Yep, we got me and Fiwo here for the whole week. Just working on art and mostly just working on art.
Shout out to Fiwo. And you're bringing the ambiance there, man. That beautiful
Right.
blue and white cloud visual behind you. Meanwhile, I have the wonderful gray backdrop of a small room in New York City on the other coast.
Yes, sir. Coastal boys.
Coastal boys. We both find ourselves under the northwest, the northeast. Here we are. Yeah, man. So what's exciting? Shout out Jupiter NFT. What's up, Jupiter? And Shay Z Crypto. Yes, Roger, how are you doing? We are doing well. Q Films TV. Hi, guys. What's going on? MBSJQ drop coming up. Q Films TV, by the way, one of the better, Parrot, right up there with the Quartets teaser in terms of one of the all-time teaser videos for the upcoming MBSJQ Astro in the Universe drop.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really nice. I'm pumped for that drop.
That teaser had all the feels to it. All the feels. Every single one of them.
It sure did, man. It sure did.
Yeah. And in terms of the construction of a collection and then how it's portrayed in a teaser video, that those color combinations, there's those distinct colors overlaid on each of the pieces with those thematic elements, and even just the titling, and then with Boo coming in with the soundbite. Anyway, I got
It's
sidetracked.
good, man. It's good, man.
I got sidetracked. We have Hamadal in here. What's going on? Q Films TV says, thank you. You do great work, man. So, Parrot, what are you focused on? What are you focused on this week? On the road in the NFT space, the digital art space? What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? I don't know, man. I got a bunch of projects coming up to be released in May. I think I got 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 big projects I'm working on for May.
Just 4.
Just 4. Yeah, all really cool stuff. Got something I'm working on for June. And that's about as far as I'm mapped out right now. But yeah, I brought my desktop with me to this Airbnb so I can just get in the zone and get inspired and get out of my studio for, I've been stuck in my studio like all of quarantine. It's nice. I like my studio, but it's nice to, change the context of where I'm creating for a little bit. I think that's important for an artist to do.
Yeah, feel good to strike out on the road. I enjoyed, you just said it in off recording, we're talking about it a little bit too, but taking your desktop on the road, that's a baller move right there. Just take the whole rig, throw that in the car.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, look, I brought my monitor and everything too. It's not the most mobile setup, but I'm out here for a week, so I can't do too much on my laptop as far as 3D rendering goes.
I mean, hey, it's a pain to do that, but once you get set up, you're leaving nothing to doubt. You know exactly what that computer can handle. Hamadal is here. He says a whole desktop. The dedication is real. Much respect. Here's a question from Q Films TV. Does change of scenery help your vision and inspiration?
Yeah, me personally, for sure. Part of me is a homebody where I'm really comfortable in my own domain. But the other part of me is very nomadic, and I love traveling. I love seeing nature. I love just the novelty of travel, I think, and being somewhere else. I don't know. It definitely inspires me. And I've missed a lot of that this past year. Usually I go on tour and do music stuff once or twice a year, where I'm going to, different cities in California or the East Coast or the Midwest or something, and I get a lot of that scenery and novelty of travel fulfilled. But this year it was lacking that a lot. So here I am in Oregon.
It's great, man. I think it's so necessary. Not exactly the same thing, but I'll give a little, I've been doing these periodic fitness and wellness tips for everybody ever since I kind of realized my own health was lagging where I might want it to be and where I was used to it being. One thing probably about 7 to 10 days ago, I had this decision where I'm like, I've talked about this enough. I actually have to take tangible steps to get this up to par. Like, what makes me feel good? What rewards me with energy and mental clarity? And all I did at first was just walk every day. So it's just carving out. It's like making the commitment to be able to step away for me. It was for 45 minutes because there's this trail that's right by our house. And you break onto the trail, you have this nice water on one side, you have these trees on the other side. It's pretty beautiful out there. And there's a specific point. It's about 22, 25 minutes down. Then you turn around and come right back. So it's like a 45-minute loop in total. And I've been doing that daily. And I have to say, just like a shout to the community here, because I've been as absorbed as anyone, just sitting and grinding and working and learning and growing. That 45 minutes convincing myself, no, it's going to be fine. You can go and break out and go do something along those lines. What it rewards you back with, like 4, 6, 7 days after doing that every single day, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I need to go walking more too. I have a lot of nice nature by my house, just living in the Pacific Northwest. We got, cool trails, beaches, all that sort of stuff. So whenever I get out there and do that, I get that same feeling of there's just a certain amount of serenity out there,
There is. And I'll tell you, it's funny. It's like the 27th minute of walking is so different than the 4th. Like you break out, and if you're not used to it, there's a lot of thoughts circulating. It's like, oh, I need to do this or pay attention to that, or maybe the mind's still spinning from just being seated at a desk for a long period of time and looking at something. But I'll tell you, once you get into that 20, 25, 30-minute range, that mind starts to clear. And that word that you just used, serenity, it really just starts to open up and free you up. And the reward lies at the end of it. Then when you get back to things, I'm speaking to myself now, by the way, I don't impose anything on anyone. So when I get back to it, I'm fueled up. I'm in a whole different position and place to sit back down and get to work. So anyway, kind of ranting a little bit here, but it's just been so powerful. I always knew how valuable it was. I taught it. I taught it for a lot. I always knew how powerful it was, but stepping back into that role, it's been an incredible thing.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you're getting some of that time for yourself, man. That's important.
Yeah, man. We all need to take. It's like those of us, and I know you are, and I know everyone in this community thread is as well. Those of us who are here for the long haul, those of us who are here to do this thing, not just this month, but 6 months and a year and 5 years down the road. It's about that time to figure that side out.
Yeah, that balance. Got to take care of ourselves because this NFT thing is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep. And it's so in any given moment, it can feel like the sprintiest of sprints, right? It's just, but then you step back, and it's like you can only do that for so long, and you can still run fast, but maybe pace just a little bit better.
Yeah, pacing's important.
Pacing's important. Hey, man, let's go over some stuff. So, hot button topic that just passed, actually 2, and then stuff that's coming down the pipeline tomorrow. So actually, let's go 2 and 2. I'll throw topics at you one at a time. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday, the Boss Logic origin story dropped on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Big stuff. Big fan of Boss Logic.
I agree, man. I have to say, I thought the level at multiple moments within the recording, but the level and the depth where Boss Logic went as deep as he went, the advice that he gave in multiple places in time. I just feel like he remains, with what he's done and with what he's accomplished, his level of humbleness and authenticity and transparency and willingness to just get down there and level. I really, really appreciate him as a human being.
Yeah, man, he seems like a really cool guy, and it makes sense how successful he's been in the NFT space. Just due to the pure artistry, I want to say.
Agreed. One of them, I think, listening to that origin story to me just struck me as this shining light of an example that I would be proud to tell anyone, like inside art or outside of art, just to listen to a little bit of perspective, because he certainly, I believe, is someone who can offer it, and I think he does so in a very, very special and unique way.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And Parrot, if we're going to then shift to what happened the very next day, which is yesterday. Could it be that recently? Feels like a month ago, at least.
Yesterday it was.
It was just yesterday. Long-awaited Parrotism origin story episode. And by the way, I love that it was conveniently episode 25. That perfect milestone number was Parrotism.
Yep, quarter of 100.
Quarter of 100. It felt right. How did you feel reflecting on it? Did you get a chance to rewatch any of yourself?
Yeah, I rewatched about half of it yesterday, and I felt better about it after I rewatched it. I think, not that I didn't feel great about it, but I was I don't know, when you're doing an interview or a long format talk, like I forgot about some of the topics that we discussed. Just my short-term memory or whatever. And so like going back, it was nice. And I don't know, it's kind of cool hearing my own story from my own mouth. If that makes sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's another one. I enjoyed that rewatch too. I enjoyed learning some new things about you, man. I mean, I feel like we've spent so much time together, and yet when we spent that focused time there together, just talking about your story and going a little deeper on the family, like your family history and family history of art, and then bringing that forth and going through the music journey and your entry into art and the evolution and your everydays, and like step by step, I came away with just an even greater appreciation for you, my friend.
Thank you, man. I can't wait to turn the tables and interview you sometime, because I got questions for you, my dude.
Oh, you got questions, do you? Yeah, man, I can't wait. We'll figure it out. We'll do it sometime soon. The time will be right. All right, so hey, that's the two things that did happen. Let's talk about the two things that are about to happen, both of which are occurring tomorrow. Let's start with what happens tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, releasing the origin story of Plant Daddy.
Sweet Sam.
Yes,
a local Seattle artist.
She said that, and I immediately was like, "Oh, Parrot, Sam, this is amazing." Seattle really is a powerhouse art city. I feel like you're not the only two. There are a couple others, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ferocious, Jaden, Justin Graphics, and a lot of other people. Well, that's just what was off the top of my head right now. Who else? I think Totemical used to live here, if I'm not mistaken. And Robbie Trevino, I think it lives in Seattle.
There's a lot of shout out Robbie Trevino.
Yeah, his stuff's so cool. Yeah, he just hit me up the other day, and he said he was in Seattle. A lot of really cool artists in Seattle that I didn't even know about, like people that I've followed on Instagram for a while. I'm like, that's cool art. And yeah, they're from Seattle too.
Man, I have to take a trip up there. Hop on that plane. We got to, let's see. We got some questions over here. We got Q Films TV chiming in again. It says, how do you balance life with art, Parrot?
I feel like I've been balancing it pretty well lately. I just really enjoyed making art. So it's just kind of a natural thing that, I'll live my life and then come home and work on art or yeah, I don't know. There's sometimes where that balance gets changed a little bit. If it's like, for example, the Nifty drop with like Ferocious and Jonathan Wolf and Odious, that was like a good month or two straight of me just working on art, thinking about art, doing art every second, and there wasn't much time for life. Like I didn't really hang out with anybody at all. Not that I hang out with that many people during the pandemic, but I do like a live stream every Monday, and yeah, I don't know. There's sometimes where that balance does get weighted to one side a lot more.
Yep.
And then sometimes there's not enough time for art, and it's the other way where I'm doing stuff or focused on something else. But yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy doing art, so it doesn't usually present too big of an obstacle for me.
Yep. Here's another question. Fortune Quest Ventures. What's up, Fortune Quest Ventures? Did you guys get your vaccines yet? Remember to keep wearing masks, social distance from now on. Historically low flu season. Let's not abandon our new health habits. Yeah, super important. I'll lead with that from our end. Vaccines roll out now, essentially, and so we're heading into the territory where we'll be able to get them without cutting the line in front of some other people. So good time to do that. And yeah, and of course, masks on. Do your thing. That's why the walking, right? The walking outdoors. That's why I love to do that. I love to be outdoors, be in open air. I think it's very easy to have positive health habits outdoors in open space. So that is where I like to be as much as possible. How about you, Parrot? Oh, Parrot, did I lose you? Parrot, you still there?
Agree.
Uh-oh, some technical difficulties on Parrot's side. All right, let's see. While we wait for Parrot, what can I do here? Let's look down. We got Hamadal saying that's insane. Seattle really is the powerhouse. Agreed. I got to move there ASAP. I feel the same way.
Did you see me? Am I
back? Yo.
Cool. I don't know what happened there.
Right.
I'm doing this off a hotspot.
I started shifting into question and answer mode over here. We were talking. Cool. We were just talking about how much of a powerhouse city Seattle was.
I appreciate that. Seattle represent.
Yeah. How about another question from Q Films? How do you handle pressure of Nifty drops, Parrot? How do you do it?
Well, the last one was it was my first and only Nifty drop. So I didn't feel that much pressure for it at first, and I was doing it with like some really awesome artists, so that definitely helped too. That I had people, we were like all in the same position. We could talk about it with each other, and we were all going through the same thing. I think that helped. The real pressure I felt was like a few days before the drop when I was like, oh, this is about to happen. Oh my God, everything we've been working on for months now is about to happen. Like the night before the Nifty drop, I probably got like 3 hours of sleep because I just couldn't sleep. But
that's a common thing. I don't know anyone who slept well the night before or during, for some time zones, or during a Nifty drop. I don't know anyone who slept well.
Yeah, I have a few more coming up, and those are gonna be. One of them is a group drop, one pressure.
Or here's a question for you: knowing what you went through and felt, and how the progression went the last time, what's one thing that you would do differently for self-care and management during the next drop moment, whether it be on Nifty or anywhere really? But just the excitement of a drop moment. What would you do differently?
More sleep, and better food. I was just like Uber eating a lot and then just working. And I was like, I don't have time to cook. Or like just like going back to that art life balance thing, taking more time to enjoy the little moments throughout that whole process. And I think in the end that also helps your art, when you are more balanced and eating good food and sleeping well, that balances everything out and helps the art.
Makes a big difference.
Which is why I'm here working on my next drop.
Of course you are. Of course you're on vacation working on your next nifty drop.
Workcation.
All right, so let's get back to our what's coming next, right? So we have Friday morning. I think this is our sidetrack into Seattle being the powerhouse, but we have Plant Daddy, Sam Clover, her origin story, which is number 26, comes out tomorrow. That's Friday morning. And then if we fast forward just a little bit on Friday, we have what we did last live stream, which is that mega epic live stream with so many wonderful people and artists on it. But there's tomorrow, Friday evening on Nifty Gateway, there's the Crypto Cubes drop, which I am personally very, very excited about. You know that I really appreciated that project, not from day one, but from whatever day it was when I found it. I have a great appreciation for the artist behind it, who's Han, as well as some people who've helped push that project forward, as well as just what the cubes are, what they can do, where the project's going. There's a lot of stuff that's clicked. And then, of course, just to give the appropriate shout outs, like the artists involved tomorrow, it's pretty stunning, man.
It is. Am I correct that they just released a new trailer today for it?
There's a new trailer. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I finally got to see a little bit of the previews of the art, the artist did for it, and that got me even more excited. I was trying to guess who's who. I feel like I got a few of them, but we'll see.
It's pretty special. Even if you're someone who doesn't care about crypto cubes or whatever, you'll be able to pick the artist styles out, or their approaches out. Some artists have many styles, but like their general approaches, I think you'll be able to pick out a lot of them. But just seeing, what Fuck Render did with his, and I think that Victor Mascara actually did something really unique in terms of the perspective on a crypto cube. I hadn't seen anything like it in terms of the direction he went. It's like, you don't have to know it's a crypto cube, but if you do know, you can see it. But it's in a much different angle and perspective and light. So I would encourage everyone to check that one out. But I don't want to exclude anybody. Philip Hodos, man, his storytelling, his wit, his humor overlaid on top of just this insane artistic, I don't even know what we want to call it. I just think he's amazing, just think he's amazing. And on down the line, who am I forgetting? I'm not forgetting anyone. We got a lot of money. Refik Anadol, Roger Kilimanjaro, Arc4G, Nicholas Daniel, man, didn't know too much about. I have to admit, the space is vast. The space is vast, and I run into people every day, run into artists every day. I am happy, and it just felt like, how did I not know what he was up to sooner? To see how he brought that cube to life, and he kind of teased this last time, and now it's out there. But exploring the insides of a crypto cube was another unique angle to take in terms of bringing it to life. Anyway, I'm just excited. I'm just talking.
That's so cool. I don't think I saw that, but I did after, or maybe even during the live stream last week. I didn't check out his work before that, so I went and checked it out, and it's very cool, very cool stuff. Yep.
And then of course just the prints, right? That something from Han, the ability to put the project in that 256 cube macro perspective, to show each and every crypto cube on this massively well done print is a pretty cool closing flourish of the project.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think, like I said last week during the live stream, I just think it's what I love about drops or projects like this is that everyone, all the artists anyways, start out with the same base thing. The crypto cubes are different, the colors are different, but they all it's their interpretation of this one thing. And it's almost in the music world when a remix album comes out and you have one song, and then you have maybe like 6-10 artists remixing that one song. You can really like learn to appreciate their style and their artistic imagination when it comes to these things, and I think that's really cool.
Agreed. And especially that vision extends further, right, for more drops with more artists, and ultimately hoping to capture every single cube in a unique way from a different artist. I mean, that's magic. If that gets pulled off down the road, and I have no reason to doubt that it will be, but that's special. 256 cubes, 256 different, digital artists bringing that to life. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a really epic and grand project.
Yep, indeed. Oh, and I should mention last thing, and then we'll move on, because I think a lot of people are tired about me talking about crypto cubes. But again, I gotta wear my passions on my sleeve. It's kind of who I am, right? It's what I do in this space. The closing flourish isn't just those prints; it's the literal cube. There is a literal crypto cube that's kind of being overlaid with some art. So you're bidding on this artwork, but it rewards you with a real deal one of the 256 crypto cubes. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see, because this is in a bit of a different place, right? The Nifty Gateway community. I think many more are aware now of crypto cubes, but some people were learning about them. Got some questions, fielding questions about what are they? Where do they exist? How do I get my hands on one? And it's pretty neat to see one hit the big stage.
Definitely, man. I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that was a look back. That's a look ahead. We had Boss Logic to recap, Paradism to recap, looking ahead, yep. Plant Patty, looking ahead, Crypto Cubes drop, and I'll take a step back now, man. Where do you want to lead this next?
I want to shout out Odius's meme drop.
Yes.
That was super cool. Some of my favorite artwork he's put out. It's been really cool to see Odius's progression of his style over just like maybe 6 months I've known the dude. When I first saw his work, it was a lot of really clean lines, and there's like a lot of clean lines and specific imagery. And his latest stuff is so much more abstract and emotional, and it's been very cool to see that progression. I got staking 5 meme on that drop right now. I'm gonna aim to get one of the 10 of 10s.
Yeah.
And then bought one of the second tier on the secondary market on OpenSea yesterday.
Nice work.
Very, very cool work. Shout out Odius, my boy. What else? We got
Aaron, real quick. I love that Odius chimed into one of the YouTube videos. I forget which one he was commenting on. Had to be it was Paradism. It was your origin story, and he commented, "I am the CEO of Headspace," and I laughed out loud. Like that was a good moment. So Odius, I want you to know personally that I literally laughed out loud in my home when I read that comment on YouTube. So thank you for that. I appreciate you so much.
That's good. We got the POC Sotheby's drop coming up, I think this week. I'm not sure on the dates. I think I saw April 14th teased somewhere in there.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's the second, right after Beeple, the second NFT being dropped through and auctioned off, I guess, through one of the traditional art houses. So it's another step forward of NFTs becoming, cemented in the art world.
Yep, and he is up to his old tricks, new tricks, old games, new games, just playing games out there, messing with all of our collective minds at once. I appreciate it. I'm here for it. I like the level of depth of thought that he puts into these things. The fun one, did you see all the mechanics behind the edition of 4 that he released today?
I didn't look at anything today. I saw some stuff the other day about like the cubes and you like collect them, but I not super in depth.
Today there's an edition of 4, and similar to the last Nifty drop, but in different ways. Each of them will be given to people who complete different aspect, like a challenge of some kind. And the one interesting one, his big play is the hashtag POC was here, and whoever posts that with the highest followership count wins that particular edition. And then, of course, in his true fashion, he then goes ahead and tweets, Pac was here on the Arcolect account, thus setting the bar at 2.5, 3 million followers, which I just got such a kick out of that. I'm like, of course you went there, and of course you did that. So
Oh my God.
I would imagine, just a guess, I don't know anything. I would imagine, speaking of someone trying to get an origin stories, is Paris Hilton. Someone suggested shout out Freight Train. Freight Train suggested it today. I saw it. I said, you know what? That would be a lot of fun. So we're trying to make that happen. But I was going to say, Paris is at 16, 17 million followers. I would be stunned if that hashtag doesn't make its way onto that account at some point. Then the question becomes, who after that? Who after that?
Elon?
There you go. I think you may have cracked the code.
We'll have to see.
I mean,
yeah, it's funny seeing Paris come in. I guess they say she's been in the scene for a while. I haven't been incredibly aware of her movement in the NFT space. I think besides a few months ago, she minted something. But yeah, it's cool seeing her. I woke up to a follow by her the other day, and I was like, "What's going on?
What's happening?"
What's happening?"
Yep. I think that's someone who's doing the right things. She's
looks like
doing the right things. Has a relationship with Whale Shark. Just getting integrated into the community, and
she's talking to the right people.
That's right. I think it's important. It's important to approach it that way when you're someone of that standing. And I think you saw someone like Gary Vaynerchuk going about it in much the same way, where he understood self-reflective. How does your standing and status look, to others, and what are the best ways to introduce yourself to a community and then to become part of it. And from my perspective, not that anyone deserves something that someone else doesn't. Everyone stands on equal playing field. But Paris is very established, right? She's very established in the business world, in the business community. We are talking about someone with 16, 17 million followers. I enjoy personally that she is taking the time of day to get on that ground level, understand the space, and do some of what I think are those right things. And maybe the wrong way to phrase it, but the right things to just, again, be a part.
Yeah, man, I agree. People with that kind of fame and I guess caliber, they don't have to do that stuff to make an entrance or to capitalize on the space or anything like that. So when people like her or people like Gary do that due diligence and talk to the right people and, make an effort to interact with the community and understand the community, that really goes a long way, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaks volumes about those individuals. I remember the other day I tweeted something along the lines of the first mega celebrity to turn around, instead of looking forward into the NFT space, to truly turn around to their vast audience and educate that audience and empower that audience to come with me, as opposed to looking into the space and saying, what can I get out of the space, or what can I do here? I'm not saying no one's done that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'm looking for that bright beacon of light, that shining example of someone who goes the extra mile in that process and makes it very apparent. I think the true believer of NFTs will ultimately be rewarded and looked upon historically.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think the community that we have right now is so special, and I want to applaud the whole community really for doing a really good job of supporting the people who have been here a long time, the people that built this, the people that add value to this space. I think in a lot of scenes and a lot of spaces in the world, both in real life and on the internet, it doesn't happen that way. And seeing the way the community is still intact, still interacting with each other and building each other up and hyping each other up in a really organic way. I'm happy that we didn't lose that when everything blew up to mainstream levels a month or two ago.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And I feel like I say the same things a lot, but no matter what, we're going to keep that here. We're going to keep that in the origin, no matter how crazy this thing gets, we'll find a way. And I think a lot of other people are flying that same flag and embarking upon that same mission. But to keep that at least in spots, if not as a representation of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed Al says, since the rareable days, beautiful space. This for real. I'm all the way out in Kuwait in the Middle East, and I've made some lifelong connections. Yes. Global, everywhere. Shout out to Kuwait. Shout out to everywhere. So much from Australia and Europe and Canada has been huge. Mexico with just talking to Carlos from Mexico. It was great to see him there.
Brazil.
Boom. There you go. Yep. This is global.
Japan.
Yep.
Philippines.
Big one.
Yeah, worldwide, man. I've met some of the coolest people through this space. Made just some of the craziest connections and friendships, and it's from people all over the world. And we're all here because we love art and technology, and it is a very beautiful space.
Yep, indeed. What you doing this weekend, man?
We'll still be in Oregon, coming home Sunday, and then I think Karan 4D is gonna come visit me this next week, and we're gonna work on a cool project that's been in the works for a while, and we're tying up the loose ends right now. And
wait, he's gonna be with you next week?
Yeah.
Can we bring Karan? Can we bring him on to Origin Stories next week?
Yeah, let's do the live stream with him.
Yeah, it's done. That dude. All right, let's do a little PSA here. That is a special dude. He
is special.
I talked to him in depth. We spent some time together, and I've had every intention. At first, I think part of it was I got it twisted in my mind exactly what it would be. Where I was going to either do a thread, or we're going to do an interview, or whatever. And we're still going to do something, right? But I think the easiest way to do this, let's make that happen next week, because I had one of the more deeper philosophical conversations with him that it just showed me a layer that I thought about for a long while after that conversation. So I am really excited to talk to him more, bring him on here. If anyone doesn't know that he exists, I think they're in for a treat.
Yeah, he's so cool, man. I love that dude. We been working on a project since September or October, and just really been taking our time to perfect it and make sure everything's in the right place. And I think it's one of my most ambitious projects. Him as well, as far as the mechanics of it and how it uses blockchain and NFT as a medium of sorts. Not just pretty pictures. As much as I love pretty pictures and creating pretty pictures, it's a lot more than that.
Got layers to it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear about it, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe the two of you can offer next week. Maybe the two of you can offer a teaser or three for the people.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm really excited to hang out with him in real life. Yeah, he's a super incredible person, great energy, and incredibly smart, and his heart's in the right place. And it's the perfect cocktail of personality traits that I find wonderful in a human being.
Yep. And Lauren's in. Shout out Lauren. Lauren doubling down on that, says, haha, yes, he has such great energy. Agree. And Parrot, shout out to you. We got bass blasting in here. Says the way Parrot talks about other artists is so humble, always shining the light on others.
Oh, thank you, man. I don't know. I look up to a lot of people and get inspired from artists of all kinds. And yeah, there's a lot of incredible people out here to shine a light on. That's one of the best parts about Origin Stories is we get to, find those cool people and shine lights on them.
That's right. We get to talk about wherever the heart, excuse me, some stuck throat. Wherever the hearts and minds go.
Yes, sir. Yep. Well, anything else on your mind, Roger?
Much like you, my friend, it's almost time to announce something really, really big.
Oh, I know what it is.
Do you?
I got an inkling.
Yeah, it's almost time, man. It's almost time, and I really, really cannot wait. It's the hardest secret to keep,
I bet it is.
but I don't have to keep it for much longer. So
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited for this to come to fruition and for you to. I don't know, man. I've just seen you working so hard on this for the past few months. I don't know how long it's been
I don't know
because
where we are in this one.
I don't know where we are, but for a while, I've seen you working so hard in this, putting your heart and soul into it, and I think it shows your innate artistry and curation, and I'm just super excited for what the future brings.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been weird, like wearing two hats. When you're, and I'm sure you go through this all the time, right? So I'd love your thoughts on it. But these ideas that you breathe life into, that you work so hard on, that you again put heart and soul into, but really can't say too much about while you're in the creative process. And sometimes that creative process does last months. And some people's ideas, I'm sure they have years worth of ideas. I've even heard some artists work on something periodically for like a decade plus, and something comes to fruition. It's just a very interesting thing getting into the deeper and deeper stages of it, still not being able to say anything and be so close to showing it the light of day.
Yeah, it could be tricky for sure, especially when you're working on something like that. You're so excited about it, you just want to share it with everybody and be like, check this out. But yeah, I think when I was younger, I struggled more with that. As I've gotten older, maybe I feel like I have less to prove now, and it's like delaying that exposure to whatever you're working on. It feels better when you've been working on something for so long. No one has the full picture of it besides you, and then you get to bring that to the world in completion. I think when I was younger, I teased stuff too much, overhyped stuff too much. And then I think even on like a psychological level, forget where I read this, somewhere on the internet. When you tell someone something you're going to do before you do it, your brain gets the reward or the pleasure like you would if you actually did it. And so it can actually trip you up a little bit, because your brain receives that like dopamine kick or whatever, like thinking that you already did this thing because you have the gratification of telling people about it. So
that makes a lot of sense, man. It really does. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I've after reading that, I've tried to pay attention to how that works in my own life, and it seems pretty spot on, because when I'm like telling people about all the stuff I'm working on all the time, then it for some reason takes longer to finish.
Yep.
And then if I just don't tell anyone about it for the most part, then I'm like, okay, I need to work on this so I can tell people about it and show the world and everything.
I really like that line of thinking. I think it's good. It's like a good awareness to put out there. Like, even if you are hyping something, making sure that it's not taking away from what makes that thing so special. Making sure that that's balanced. Raising that awareness that don't fall into that trap. If you do choose to hype something, just make sure it's not affecting what is deserving of that hype.
Exactly.
Dude, that might be the most powerful tip of this whole live stream today, man. Good.
Yeah, it's a good thing to think about. I think it's a thing of discipline too, because it can be hard, because I don't know, like a lot of times I want to like be like, everyone look what I'm doing, or just like I see other people doing stuff, or even like other people getting attention, and like my ego is like, but I'm working on something so cool, I want attention, and I'll like put that out into the world, and it's always a disservice to myself when I do that.
Smart macro concepts, Parrot. Dropping wisdom today. I like it. Yeah, man. Hey, Snail, join late. Shout out to you, my friend. Good to see you in here. What does that say? Wow, JD? Snail, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Anyway. Love Snail. Big fan. Got it. Thank you. Sweet. All right, we got there. Well, Parrot, I think you need to get back to Oregon. I'll get back to New York, and
Yes, sir.
we will sync again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank God for laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots for my iPad. And, it's fun that we can do this on the road too.
I agree. And thank goodness that you were able to throw your entire desktop and monitor into a car and drive it all the way to Oregon to work.
True that.
Dedication. Let's see. On the way out here, again, another shout out to Snail. We love you. Hamadal says, love what y'all are doing. Much love. Thank you. Right back at you. Lauren says, good talk, guys. Lauren, I think it goes without saying, but we'll say it again and again. I know Parrot loves you, but same thing over here. All good vibes. Nothing but good vibes from you. Especially in the past few weeks on Twitter. Just feel a lot of love from your end, and it's all very, very appreciated.
She's the best.
The best. All right, man. Hey, enjoy those blue skies out there.
Thank you, man. Have fun in New York. I know you're doing cool things.
Yes, sir. Soon.
Yep. And we'll see y'all next week, hopefully with Karan on the live stream. And you got some cool origin stories coming out next week?
Cool origin stories coming out next week. We have Chewy coming out next week. Gonna give him that shout out now. I'll leave everything else.
Oh, Chewy.
Yes, we're gonna feature him. That's another conversation. Just came away thinking nothing but good things about the person on the other side. So Plant Daddy tomorrow, Chewy next week, and we'll have some other fun stuff as well.
Word. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.